Hello, everybody. Hi, how are you doing? My name is Ruthie Rave, and this is Love the Ruins, my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for clicking in. I hope that you're good. That muku garam nyasha, muku komborero, and that wherever you are, zonjoku fire. So welcome. Today I have a brand new video. I am going to be talking about tips to improve your public speaking. So let's get it.
I look at you and it's easy to see you are that someone I've been trying to meet.
This day and age where people have dominated TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, there are a lot of people that are now transitioning from just being YouTubers to being coaches outside. They're fitness coaches, motivational speakers, lifestyle coaches, they're pastors, they're teachers, counselors, wherever or whatever field that you're in, you are finding yourself being invited to speak, whether it is to a group of 5 people, to a group of 5,000 people, and the skill of public speaking is increasingly becoming in demand. Now, there are a lot of people out there who are so talented, who are so good at their jobs, but then when it comes to speaking to people, you are a leader of a Fortune 500 company, you're a leader of a company where there's 2,000 employees.
Every single day you feel like you want to pass out because you have to speak and address your employees.
But you know what I'm going to do for you today? I am going to give you roughly 8 tips that are often overlooked by people when they are practicing their public speaking speeches. All right. So to start off, you need to have an opening. What are you going to say? The first word that you're going to say when you open your mouth, because that can make or break you. People are either going to be hooked from the very first word, or people are going to hit the snooze button, and they're going to tune out. You want to hook people in. You want to build up that, just you're taking people on a journey. You're taking people on an experience. They have to be hooked on you. Every single word you're going to say from that moment is either going to help you make your case or break your case. Moving along. Now, this is very, very important. You have to know your audience. You have to know who's coming. What if one of the biggest and most important people of the industry that you're in just walks in and sits right in front of you as you are speaking? Now you begin to panic. Now you begin to shake because you did not bother to look up who was going to be in your audience. Moreover, if you know who is in your audience, you're going to know which language you're going to use. Maybe they're Shona speaking. Maybe they're old people. Maybe they're young people. Maybe they're preschoolers, high schoolers. You're going to know which language you're going to use. Are you going to use English? Are you going to use Shona? Are you going to use Ndebele? What are you going to be talking about? You're going to know what subjects to stay away from. You're going to know who to address or who you are addressing. And most importantly, you're going to know how deep you're going to go when you're explaining words that you're using. Do not always assume everybody is as educated as you are. Do not throw in fancy words to impress people. And at the end of the day, it is confusing people. People in the medical field, they could be throwing in medical jargon and everybody's just like, okay, what is happening? I think this is a big one, but then it is often overlooked because it sounds so simple. What is the topic that you're going to be talking about? Sometimes when you're invited to speak by a group of people, they will tell you a specific topic, but sometimes they'll be like, ballpark it, whatever you're going to be talking about. Maybe they just say mental health, okay? So if people invite you and do that, they're considering you to be some sort of an expert. Your words, your teaching, your speech is going to be very valuable to a lot of people who have invited you. So pay particular attention to that and take it seriously. Research, practice, know what it is that you're going to be talking about, because when you stand in front of people, nerves can get at you, especially if you don't know who are they. Now you are mumbling, now you're rambling on and on, now you're not making sense. And if you are standing there in front of me and you do not know what you're talking about, what about me? I am going to zone out and you're going to be very bored. Okay, I know people like me who love to talk think sometimes we're God's gift to people and we can go on and on and on. But please, people, get straight to the point. Try to stick in the allocated time you've been given. If you were given 10 minutes, speak for 9 minutes. If you were given 15 minutes, speak for 14 minutes. I'll tell you why in just a minute. All right. Do not undersell your minutes or oversell your minutes. You've been invited to speak for 1 hour. you only give people 5 minutes worth and then you leave. You were invited to speak for 15 minutes and now you speak for an hour. Now people, the only reason why they're not taking you down is because maybe you're a respectable person, but do not take advantage of people's time because it is very, very important. All right. Stop just mumbling and going on and on. Try to get straight to the point. All right. And another thing on that moment, know that people are going to want to ask you questions. So leave room. That's why I'm suggesting finish, maybe 5 minutes before your allocated time and then take in room for questions. Now, what I often like to do is whenever I'm invited to speak to a group of people, I try to imagine the questions that can be thrown at me. And then I go on YouTube, I go on the internet, I look, in the comment section, you can find all questions, both negative and positive there. And then you can try and come up with ways to answer those questions so that you're not caught off guard. Now, I do want to mention this. There's always going to be that one person who's going to throw at you that question that's going to be very difficult. But again, make room for that. Be ready for that because people are people. So sometimes when you're asked a question you do not know, honesty is always best. I do not know, but I am happy to look it up for you and then we can swap information, contact information if you're comfortable, and I can mail you my findings. You didn't avoid the question. You didn't overlook it. You didn't get irritated. You faced it and you were professional about it. Now, I do want to mention this. If ever you're invited to speak anywhere, have a rehearsal. Try to go to the venue and look at the place where you're going to be speaking from. Are you going to be mic'd? Are you going to be on a stage? Are you going to be addressing 10,000 people or 2 people? Are you going to, wherever you are going to be, try to know the place and get comfortable there, all right? Be appropriately dressed. Do not show up to a wedding and you're wearing pajamas. Do not show up to a place and you're drunk, you are high, you are tired, and you are late. Try to respect people's time, all right? Because if you're not comfortable in where you are standing, if you're not comfortable in what you are wearing or what you are dressed as, or just basically you got into a fight before you got there, you started doing things that stressed you out right before you spoke, you're going to be extremely nervous and you're not going to do your speech justice. All right, try to wear things, again I'm saying, that are comfortable and that are appropriate. Do not wear too tight things. Do not wear things that are revealing. Imagine you're speaking about the dangers of prostitution and you're wearing barely their clothes. You are speaking about the dangers of alcohol, of getting drunk, and you're drunk. You are more than drunk. You are just passing out and mumbling and fumbling. It is just not going to be a good look. Again, you do not know who's going to be in the audience. Be interested in the things that you're talking about, because if you look bored, then I am going to be bored, the person who's listening to you. All right. Be confident, smile, be engaging, look people in the eye, try to make eye contact. When you move about, do not just be frantic and moving up and down, making people nervous. Do not be scratching and fidgeting. Do not be mumbling and using feelers such as you know what it is, and then you're forgetting your lines. You look so ill prepared. You look so unprofessional when you're standing there, and it is going to make the experience even more daunting. So try to pace yourself when you're speaking. Try to relax yourself and try to pause when you make a point. Try to emphasize the things that you want emphasized by the tone of your voice. When you move to the side of the room, have a purpose about it. All right, have an authoritative stance. Do not be slumping your shoulders and hiding your face and looking like you just can't wait for this to be finished, because people will begin to walk out. And I feel like that's very, very disrespectful and very painful for a person who's speaking and people are walking out. Lastly, I am going to say that leave a takeaway. Just like I say, have an opening, have a closing, that punchline, because you were taking people on a journey. Now you've reached the destination. Always have that ending, that punchline. That is going to be memorable. Again, you never know who's in the audience. You never know if you're going to book your next client from the people that are listening to you. You never know who you are helping. Maybe there's a marriage that was about to collapse. There's a person who was about to commit suicide. There's someone who was on the verge of giving up, and they heard you speaking and you were so confident and you were making your point and you were so clear and audible. And now, because of you, their lives have forever been changed. Now, I do want to mention that people are different. Backgrounds, levels of education, personalities, characters, and just basically a person is different. You're never going to find 2 people who are the same. So instead of pressurizing yourself to look and appear as, TD Jakes or whoever is an amazing speaker, try to focus on what you could do about it. And that's why I came up with the tips that I've just given you. All right. But the best thing is if you incorporate all those tips, Practice, practice, practice. You're not just going to wake up from the bed and then go hit public speaking. There are those who can do it, but then for the rest of us mere humans, we need to practice. We need tips, we need skills, we need advice on how to improve our speaking skills. Do not give up on yourself, because let me tell you something. Probably someone is waiting for you to speak. All right, so stop fearing the worst that can happen every single time you get in front of people, and start focusing on the good that you're about to do, on the opportunities that you're creating, on the doors and the endless possibilities that you're creating for yourself. All right, now that being said, I have come to the end of my video. Thank you so much to everybody who's watching, who watched to the end of it. Thank you so much, everybody, and I will see you next time. Cheers, and have a lovely week. Karemias.